Hi, it's Randy Burke, CEO of DCS Global, talking about the landscape right now of commercial cleaning, some issues and some solutions. And yeah, post-pandemic, things are quite tough for contractors. Labor force is shrinking. A lot of that got eaten up by um, schools, hospitals, and such. But also there's price compression due to some occupancy issues, reduced occupancy, as well as shorter leases and a few other things dealing with property and facility management. It's tough to keep pace with technology. You're looking at some AI tools that are coming out, and costs are increasing on supplies, equipment. Certainly, the U.S. tariffs continue to put some questions on those costs. So, but yeah, often it's quite hidden. Cleaning is behind the scenes. At night the labor's working. So, are you getting your hours and such that are promised? Um, Supervision's active, they're problem solving. You don't really see that. And there's a lot of staff training typically and staff replacement that's going on, even project work. So it is, in fact, quite a behind the scenes service. But it's fair to ask for some reasonable reporting, certainly a monthly cleaning inspection, and then an incident report, what's going on, and then probably, depending on the size of the contract, quarterly, at least twice per year, what we call a joint customer review session, in that the service provider comes in and presents, how things have been going, what their plans are, and have a conversation with yourself. And certainly, when cleaning goes sideways, what you're really looking to do is get them to come in and report in person. What's the quality tracking? What's their staff turnover? Are there unreported complaints, issues? What's their resolution of issues? Um, and certainly, you can require a an on-site upgrade, um, so that you're getting extra cleaning on the weekend, and do a detailed walkthrough. So yeah, I mean, to keep things on track, um, data flow is important. So you've got a record of what the cleaning inspections are, potentially project work. Depending on the size of the contract, you could get into varying degrees of the actual hours reporting. Maybe there's a flexibility margin you're allowing. There's a variety of data that you can get. Um, and cost containment is really important. Costs are rising often with contractors with collective bargaining agreements and such, but understanding what the cost elements are and getting predictive costs um, reports to yourself, that would really help. And again, to de-risk the service, it's really about monitoring that. But I would say more importantly is really communicating with your service provider. Get the relationship that they're talking to you ahead of time, what they see as issues, and I think that's going to go a long way. And yeah, there's things that can be done to increase quality as you move forward. I think just reporting and communication will do that. Certainly de-risk it, but yeah, maybe there's certain areas that as a property facility manager, you want to increase um, the focus and maybe even the cost on certain areas and reduce it in other areas. So there's some fine tuning that can be done. So yeah, we're in the next 7 weeks. Again, we're going to be talking about third-party inspections. You know, what really data you should be asking. Um, an RFP, how to build a better contract through a good RFP. The latest in sustainability. There's some new technology out there, um, and then managing risk, and of course, really partnering. So thanks so much, and more coming.